I have been putting this video off for weeks, but today, no, I am gonna say my top 10 most anticipated releases of 2024. I can do this. I can choose 10. I can do this. Hello friends, happy Saturday. So very excited that you're here. We are continuing the 25 days of shoujo manga. I hope that you're deeply enjoying this event. If you have not entered my giveaway yet, be sure to check out all the details here. It has been so much fun, but this video, oh my goodness. Like, I know it's gonna be fun to film and chat about upcoming manga that I'm really looking forward to, especially because it's shoujo and josei manga, but choosing just 10, oh my goodness, like there's way too many good things coming out next year. My wallet is already crying in advance, but that's okay. I'll just comfort my wallet and continue to buy all of the manga because, you know, manga is amazing. But yes, for this Saturday, I am talking about my top 10 most anticipated shoujo and josei releases of 2024. I made a list and I was like, I'm not fully happy with this, so I made another list that I am much more happier with. I feel like that's been like a trend or a theme for me this month because I know I've mentioned that in other videos that like I had a list and I was like, you know, we're just gonna change the list and make something else, you know, because I don't know, I guess that's just what I do, I suppose. I don't know, but let's go ahead and jump in. I feel like for number one, my most anticipated release that I am just head over heels for is Veil. Veil is coming out by Udon Entertainment. They did not tell us when, they just said a release date of 2024. I cannot wait. I have heard friends that have read or seen different pages from this manga, I was about to say art book, and that's what I was going to say, was that people who have read it early have said that it really feels like an art book that has sort of, I forgot, like it's sort of like short stories, I think what the blurb says. And the reason I'm so very excited for this is because it looks stunning. It looks absolutely gorgeous. I don't remember which video it was or if it's a video coming up, but I know at some point that I mentioned that I bought the exclusive art book that is coming out in Japan. I think that video actually comes out next week. I'm sorry in advance, but I had mentioned how I bought volume 6, the Japanese edition, because it was coming with an exclusive art book with some of the illustrations never being shown before. And I was like, I'm getting it. I was like, I've never seen or read Veil. I mean, I've seen pages of Veil, but like I've never read Veil itself. But I knew this was something that I was going to want. And I'm so thankful for the friends that helped me to like get a proxy service, be able to order it for an affordable price. It was wonderful and just deeply thankful. So anyway, going back though to Veil in general, I am so stoked for the art and this romance. It's between this police officer and this young woman who is blind. It's just sort of like their everyday encounters. I hear the romance is very slow burn, and I had to like double check that it was a romance, and I believe that the actual creator does call it that. I don't know really anything else outside of that the art is beautiful, the covers are beautiful. I'm hoping that Udon does the covers justice, because when it comes to the Japanese editions, volume 1 and volume 2 are like continuous. So like on volume 1 you have the woman, and then on volume 2 you have the guy, and when you put them together it forms this really cool image that I will show here. I don't know how Udon is going to do this because they've already announced it's going to be like a 2-in-1 omnibus edition, and I'm like, well, are we going to have like the girl in the front and the guy in the back? I'm like, I don't know. Are we going to have like a removable dust jacket? Like, what are we going to do here? Fold out poster, something. I need something because I really love how those covers come together. But Veil, yes, ultimately that is my most anticipated release for next year. I guess as a low-key honorable mention, was it Sugar Ruin? They announced however many years ago that they were going to relicense this, or republish. They relicensed it, I guess is the proper way to say it, but they're going to republish this in like really top tier editions, but there's been no word. But I did see some tweets sometime a few months ago, and Udon says they're working on it, that they are having breakthroughs, and maybe, just maybe, we could have it in 2024. That is not official though, okay? So please, somebody come for me like, you said it's coming 2024. No, Udon has not said that date. I'm just hoping, based off the very few tweets that I've seen, that yes, we will have that also in 2024. Now I will say, before moving on to number 2, I tried to change up this year for choosing my picks. Rather than choosing mainly just one publisher, I tried to do like a shoujo or josei release from a variety of publishers. Like I try not to do any more than 3 from one publisher because there's a lot of publishers that are releasing shoujo and josei manga. So I just wanted to say that because this probably wouldn't have been in my super top 10, but it's from Yen Press, and I believe believe it's the only one that I actually have from Yen Press. And that is for number 2, I am saying If the Villainous and Villain Met and Fell in Love. I have a friend that read the light novel because it released earlier this year or a few months ago or something like that, and he loved it. And I was like, okay, this was already on my radar because I'm like, sorry guys, I'm part of the problem. I love the villainous genre and I cannot get enough of it. I know a lot of people are really upset that like we keep getting more, and I'm sorry, or not that sorry, because I want it, I love it, and I'm so glad I'm being fed when it comes to the villainous genre. So when I saw that they had another villainous manga that was coming out, I was very, very excited because I have deeply enjoyed the villainous manga that Yen Press has given us this year. They gave, I think it was this year, I'm the Villainous, so I'm taming the final boss. What is the other one? The Villainous stands the heroes, and there's like another villainous one that I've really enjoyed that have come from Yen Press. So when I saw this one, I knew that this was one I needed to feature out of their shoujo releases that they have announced, or shoujo licenses they have announced, excuse me. I am most intrigued about this one because I'm just like, the title alone has me very curious. If the villainous met the villain and they fell in love, like, okay, that is like perfect. Give me more. I want to know more. And I guess the sort of the low-key premise is that the heroine, who's, you know, the villainous, the duke or the prince, he dumps her. They were engaged and he, you know, he ends it. He ends the engagement with her. And so she becomes like this villainous as a result. But then she meets this guy who also goes to the same magic academy. He has like this icy personality, doesn't have a lot of friends, very unsociable. And so she decides to team up with him. I don't really know what they're teaming up for. This does not have the traditional vibes of villainous manga where, like, you know, they're trying to stop like the red flags or they're trying to change the route. It doesn't really seem like that. It feels more like these have just been labels given to these people in this series. Hopefully that's true, but even if it's not the traditional villainous that I really enjoy, I'm still very, very excited for it, and I knew that it's going to be one of my most anticipated releases from Yen Press when it comes to the shoujo and josei manga. For number 3, I am so stoked for this one. Like, this was like the first one, well, outside of Veil, this was number 2 of the one that I knew that I had to feature today, and that is Reliving My Life with a Boyfriend Who Doesn't Remember Me. This is coming from 7 Seas, and what made me like, okay, the cover art, absolutely beautiful. I'm like, okay, I'm like, this sounds interesting. I don't really know. Felt really iffy at first on the day of the announcement, but then I found out this is a manga, okay? But when I found out from a friend on Instagram who told me that the novelist who created the novel that, you know, inspired the manga, that novelist is the same novelist of the light novel of Hi, I'm a Witch and My Crush Wants Me to Make a Love Potion. And I said, done, sold. I don't even need to know more. Really, like, it was just a name drop and that was all I needed. Now, the premise itself does sound really interesting. It sounds like it has a lot of angst. I'm not a huge fan for angst, but I'm willing to do it for this manga because it just seems worth it. And it's sort of sad because the main character, she's like 17 at the beginning of the series. Something happens and her boyfriend, their lives are like scuffed out. Somebody took them out, put a hit on them, for lack of a better word. She wakes up the next day and she's in her 7-year-old body. But here's the thing. She sees that her boyfriend is back, but when she goes to him, she like hugs him, you know, she's really excited. She's like, what happened? He has no idea who she is. And so I guess this story is sort of about her not only falling back in love with her boyfriend again, or like, well, she's already in love with him, but him hopefully falling back in love with her and getting to know her because she is, I think, doing things to help maybe trigger something. I don't really know, but like, I need them to have a happy ending. And the cover art is gorgeous. Like, this is definitely a series like you could just buy because the cover love is very, very real. But I am so excited for this. I can't wait. I am just so stoked. I'm very stoked. Like, this is probably my most anticipated shoujo of the year. I think. I don't know, because if we go into number 4, I'm gonna say Loving Yamada at level 999. Now, I have already read this. I know how amazing this series is. I did a review earlier this year, and it is phenomenal. It was like one of my most anticipated manga that I wanted to get physically licensed, and it did. I danced in my living room. I spammed everybody with excitement. I am so stoked that we are getting it physically in print. I know a lot of people really don't like the covers. I'm not the hugest fan of it myself, but I'm just like, whatever. I'm like, you're giving it to me in physical form, I will take it. Because I think this series is by Inklore, which will be my first manga, anything that I've ever bought from them. But I'm not going to go into detail about what Loving Yamada is. Definitely check out the review if you're interested, or, you know, go check out the anime. The manga is just absolutely phenomenal. The romance is perfection. Oh, it's so good. And I'm just so stoked. Like, but I've already read this one, so I feel like it's sort of cheating when it comes comes to like new things, I would say, you know, what was the other one? Reliving my life with a boyfriend who doesn't remember me. That would be my most anticipated shoujo release of next year. But Loving Yamada, I mean, I've already brought it, but yes, oh my gosh, we're getting it in print. I'm so thankful and so very grateful that we're getting it. Like, that was such a win for the shoujo community, and I've been so happy that people just love this couple because they are fantastic and so amazing, and yes, I am getting it hands down. For number 5, I'm also really excited for this, and that is Kimin Tendou-ke Soulmate. I am so excited for this because more Kimin Tendou-ke, yes. That is my biggest thing. I feel like, I know Sawako is not the main character. The story actually centers around Kurumi, had to make sure I said her name right, which was the rival in the series. So, you know, if you've read the later volumes, I'd say like the last quarter, then you know things change, and Kurumi, she was a character that I never ever expected to really like. I am so stoked just to come back to the world of Kimin Tendou-ke in manga form. I'm so grateful that Viz is giving us this series. I think it's only like 4 volumes. I was about to say 2 volumes, but I think it's 4, not sure, but it is a short series. But even if it's short, I'm like, yes. Very, very excited for this. In fact, I was just looking today and I was debating if I should go ahead and like pre-order on Amazon right now, or, you know, just wait until I can find it like on Right Stuff. Well, it's already on there, but I really want it now. I really want it now because I love Kimin Tendou-ke so much. I definitely gushed about how that series influenced me earlier this month. Just has a very special place in my heart. So I'm very much looking forward to coming back to these characters. I hope we have some great cameos. That is like the biggest thing I am anticipating. Even if they, you know, Kazehaya and all them, they're not a major part. Let me see panels of them. Let me see panels of them in college life. I need to at least see a kiss between Sako and Kazehaya. Like, at least once a hug. I need to see some affection between them as college age students because I loved him. I loved him so much. So very much looking forward to this one as well, and can't wait to hold it physically in my hands. For number 6, I am saying Tales of the Tendo family. This is published by One Piece Books, and apparently this was a really big announcement that a lot of people were excited for. I feel bad because I had never heard about it until the license announcement by One Piece Books. But a friend of mine said, if you like My Happy Marriage, then you're probably gonna like this. She's like, it definitely has more angst, and there's some other things that are going on, and I read the blurb, and the main girl, she is not this real character. I forget the lady's name. I think it starts with an R, but this man is supposed to be marrying this woman, but the woman like sort of is like, no, I don't want to marry him. And so our main character decides to pose as this girl that was supposed to actually marry this man. And apparently this man, you know, has some rumors going around about him that he is not the nicest of people, I think, and that things are just not going to be good. Like, it is sort of setting up for, at least how I am interpreting it, the main character is entering a very loveless marriage, and that things are not going to go good, and that it's just going to be really bad, and it's not going to be happy at all. Now, typically when somebody says, hey, it has a lot of angst, again, going, you know, back to what I said, I'm not a fan of that, but I love the covers, and I recently, I think it was like on the cover of Lala, that the couple was on there, and I said, okay, I'm like, this is a big deal. This is a big deal, and One Piece Books is amazing. They publish Yusatoki Rhetoric, and what's so great about them is I really love, like, you can, I don't know about their other stuff, but with their shoujo specifically, when they license something, you're getting every 2 months, you are getting a new volume. There is no waiting 4 to 6 months, 1 year plus that you're waiting for a new volume. After they licensed and did the announcement, they already had volumes 1 and 2 up for pre-order on Amazon and Barnes & Nobles. Like, yes, I am so thankful for that. And so I'm very, very much looking forward to reading this. I'm very much looking forward to trying it. The covers are gorgeous. The art looks really good. The story, I feel like there's not enough there for the blurb for me to really make a big opinion on it, but I am very curious enough, especially the friend that gave me the recommendation. I trust her recommendations. She has got me hooked on a lot of series, so I feel confident that I am really gonna like this. Oh my goodness, for number 7, I'm very excited for this, and that is Sweets for Sweets and Foreigners. This is a Tokyo Pop release. It is a JOSEI manga, and oh my gosh, it sounds so great. It centers around food, romance. The main girl, she feels like she has no love life, or she doesn't have a love life, and so she turns to shoujo manga where love always wins. And I said, girl, yes, I understand what you mean. Shoujo manga be winning when it comes to stuff like that. But the thing is like, she works at this pastry shop or something like that, and this foreigner French man, he comes in, you know the drill, he gonna turn her life upside down. They're gonna have a hopefully super wonderful happy romance, and that's what I'm here for. That's why I'm most excited. I love the cover. When I saw that it was gonna be taking place with sweets and have some food, she loved shoujo manga, that was it. That was all I needed. I didn't need anything else said. I don't know anything about this except for it's 2 volumes and ongoing right now, and I am so very stoked. I am so stoked for this one. It just sounds so wonderful, and I've been so grateful that Tokyo Pop has just been giving us so much Josei manga, and I am talking more about that on, I believe it's Monday, of how I feel like Josei manga, or is it, I should say, on the rise, and Tokyo Pop I really feel like is delivering and hitting this niche very, very hard, very good, and this is one I am definitely going to be picking up next year. Cannot wait to read this one as well. For number 8, I can't say much on this one because I could not find what the Japanese title was because I forgot to write it down, but that is Clan Under the Moon. This is actually a shoujo horror, and I'm not into horror at all. I mean, I can handle very small amounts. Horror is just not my jam, but I saw this one. It's a 2-volume series. It's coming out by Starfruit Books, or Starfruit's book. I think it's Starfruit Books. I was most curious about this because it's an older shoujo manga, and I just think it's really exciting when we get older titles that are coming out, being relicensed, and being in these sparkly new forms, like that we probably would never have access to reading it otherwise. Like when I tried looking up any information on it, it was really hard. I did find like 6 different pages online, all in Japanese, had no idea what it said or anything, but it looks like a super fun read. I believe the heroine is like she lives, or she's a shrine maiden, so I think she lives near a shrine, at a shrine, and she's a shrine maiden, and she helps some kind of spirit or something like that, and this spirit's gonna cause some shenanigans in her life, but it was labeled as like a supernatural mystery that has a lot of comedy. And that was actually, well, in the horror, can't forget the horror elements, but the one picture that I had found at the time, again, I don't have it saved because I don't remember the Japanese title, the horror didn't look bad. It didn't look any more intense than what I've read in Rosie and the Labyrinth, which I absolutely love, did a gushing review on that. So I feel like I'll be okay because Rosie is about my max of what I can handle at horror. I feel like Clan Under the Moon has a nice mashup. There's no romance, I don't think, which is a little bit of a bummer, but I was like, I like the idea of this sort of like paranormal and this mystery and having some comedy. Like, it just sounded like a great mashup. So I am definitely going to be giving it a shot, especially since it's only 2 volumes. It's a low commitment for a series, and I think it's really great to support these smaller publishers like Starfruit Books. So definitely, I don't know when it comes out, but definitely keep an eye out, I guess, for whenever it does. They didn't give a release date on it, but I'm hoping, assuming that it's coming out in 2024. I hope that I'm not wrong on that information, but I'm very much looking forward to trying this out, branching out for next year for 2024 releases. For number 9, I cannot say this title for nothing. Like, I tried so hard the other day, like, to practice with my husband, and I'm like, I can't do this, but let's see if I can do it. I'm gonna attempt. It's by Kodansha, and it's a josei, and it's called Papait Attract. It's supposed to be like puppies combined with opposites. I'm like, how do you combine this word? Like, my brain just, it's not computing when it comes to it. But I am so excited for this because it is a josei manga, but even greater than that, the puppies, the dogs. And I love, absolutely adore the premise of like this woman who's, I think she's maybe like of short stature, very petite, but she's got this giant Rottweiler that's even bigger than her when it comes to weight. And then you have this big buff guy. I mean, he's not super buff, but he's an athletic person, it seems, very much in shape. And he's got this small little Pomeranian, and it's so cute. They're complete opposites. They meet in the park or something like that, and a romance, I'm gonna assume, is gonna bloom between them. But you know, that's the whole thing, is that they have different kinds of dogs that, you know, for that person, nobody would anticipate or expect that, but here they are. It sounds so cute. It's so wholesome. And I feel like this manga definitely needs some support because we have so much cat manga, which is great, but we don't get enough puppies and enough dogs. And I'm like, yes, it sounds so adorable. It sounds so cute. I'm very, very excited for this one a lot. It just sounds right up my alley. Slice of life, romance. Cannot wait for it to release. I think it's next summer is when it's supposed to release. And I'm like, this is an instant buy. This is definitely a most anticipated josei release for next year. Oh my goodness, I cannot wait. And oh my goodness, for number 10, I didn't write anything down. And I think it's because I didn't know what to do next. But there is one that I think I'm going to do. Have to go find it because I closed all my browsers out. Like, yeah, I have totally my list. And I just realized looking at my list, like, I forgot to write number 10. So for number 10, it's sort of funny. I actually thought that this was like a reverse harem kind of thing, but it's not. And it's called Kusu Noi's Flunking Her High School Glow Up. Okay. And I think this sounds like so much fun. I didn't even know this was a josei. I love the cover. In fact, the cover was the thing that instantly hooked me. And I was like, I really want to check this out, even before I read the blurb. But why I'm interested in this one, and definitely going going to be picking up because I'm just that interested, just that curious, is that the main girl who's on the cover and this other guy, they were both like outcasts in, I think it was like middle school. Over the summer, I guess, they both decided to have a glow up and that they were going to change and, you know, look like a different person. Well, they did that. They succeeded, but only the guy has succeeded in changing himself inside and out. Well, the main girl is like, okay, she's different on the outside, but she's still thinking as if she's still an outcast and is really struggling when it comes to her social life. So she's coming to this guy that she knew who was the other outcast, asking him, I guess, for advice, for support, what to do and how to change in the inside. And now I will say, I don't typically love a plot like that. You know, I don't like the glow up and then you become super beautiful and then like everybody loves you, you know, but I don't know. I feel like this is hopefully going to be a different series. I really like the idea that you have these two outcasts coming together. They were already like basically friends before their glow ups and now hopefully they're going to continue to be friends, but I'm hoping there's going to be some romance. I'm hoping there's going to be some romance and that they can see the real beauty of just being themselves. Like, I'm very curious about where it's going to go, and this was definitely a cover love influence of why I am just really anticipating this one. I think this one releases next summer as well, but I would definitely say, I mean, I know I didn't have a number 10 right away, but I mean, as you saw, it came instantly to mind of things I'm most anticipating for next year, and I guess that clarifies to me that I am going to pick it up because I sort of debated. I was like, I don't know. It's like, what if I don't like it? The premise is, I don't know. But then like talking about it, I'm like, yes, I'm really, really excited for this one too and very much looking forward to getting it. Now, I had to do an honorable mention. I had to do a manhwa because I am on that manhwa hype train. If you saw my November reading wrap up, I read so much manhwa and one of them was My Secretly Hot Husband. I'm so excited. I am so excited. Oh my gosh. I definitely gush more in that video, so check it out. I'm not going to go in depth here, but I am so thankful that Eyes Press is giving it to us physically. I am getting it like instant buy, most anticipated manhwa of next year that I am like, it will be in my hands. It will be in my hands. As I shared in that video, I actually like bought almost $15 worth of ink because I just could not stop reading this series. It is so very good. The cover is perfection and the series is perfection, and the couple, they are in like my favorite couples. They could do no wrong. Well, I should say our hot husband could do no wrong. Our main girl, she is a great fraudster, as she likes to say, and I love all her shenanigans. She can kick butt. Girl's amazing. I really, really love this series, and again, it is very much highly my most anticipated manhwa release for next year. Definitely in one of my top 5 most anticipated releases in general, and I know this was supposed to be shoujo and josei, but I just had to do a manhwa. I had to include it in there because I'm like, anything to get people on My Secretly Hot Husband. It is phenomenal. Cannot recommend it enough. Again, I'm just so thankful we are getting the physical next year. I'm going to be getting it as well as all of these manga. I'm so very stoked for all of them. Like, my wallet's crying, as I said before, but it's going to be worth it. It's going to be worth it. I know it. I feel like all of these definitely are strong contenders to probably be my favorite reads of 2024. And so I need them. I need them. I need them. And I'm just very, very excited. So many great things are coming out next year, but I would love to hear from you, friends. What are some of your most anticipated releases? Let me know down below. And if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe. And thank you so much for watching. Bye!